Okay. Are we live? One. Okay. I think we're live, everyone. Okay. This is a special episode of Build With Me. I'm going to actually show you behind the scenes of how I live stream and create reviews at the same time so you can start creating a content multiplier for your brand. So, in this episode, you're going to be seeing me record 2 of my reviews. We're going to be talking about Sumo Day and showing you how you can harness this for your own brand and everything like that. So, come with me. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Again, thank you so much for being here. Today, this is actually a pretty special episode. I'm going to be showing you how I'm live streaming and creating content, and so I can multiply so much. And then on top of this, how you can be using this with your own brand to start putting out a lot more content and just be more effective with your time. So right here, I'm live streaming right now. I'm actually using Camtasia at the same time, so I'm recording. And then I'm going to be showing you how I split up and all that stuff. And I'm going to be showing you what's going on with Sumo Day and all of that kind of good stuff. So, what you're watching right here, let me pull up my screen. So right here, you're actually watching what I'm going to be recording with Camtasia. Now, if you're not familiar with Camtasia, it allows you to start just recording your tutorials and screen recordings and stuff like that. It's a pretty easy editor. And our new videos have all been done with that. It's been really effective. And so now we're using this to actually record the videos as we're streaming too. So this is actually the first time. I was wondering if this was possible because we usually have to record and then come back. We're going to be doing this. So I'm really, really excited about this. So we're going to be using this. And then when we're creating more content, just to let you know, then we use something called repurpose.io. And repurpose.io allows you to then use those pieces of content, those small pieces, then you can go put it in different ways. So it's almost like Zapier for content creation. And so when I'm trying to create multiple smaller clips, we use repurpose, all of those things. So you're going to be seeing behind the scenes as we do all those things. So what we're going to review today, we're going to be reviewing uh, Bravo Studio versus AppGyver. So we're going to show you like the behind the scenes, all of those things. And as you're seeing this right here, as I'm live streaming, I'm also then going to be using Camtasia and going through this. Now, before we begin, make sure we have this. As always, this is unofficially brought to you by Red Bull. If you know anyone that can help us with an official sponsor, let us know. But this is, this is what I drink to make sure that I'm awake and doing this show. So again, officially, unofficially done by Red Bull. So right now we're going to be looking at Bravo Studio. I'm going to be recording and then I'm going to be doing a review, and you're going to see the like editing process and all this kind of stuff. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to, now that I'm broadcasting on StreamYard, now I'm going to be recording as well on Camtasia. So right there, it's saying that I'm recording in Camtasia. Okay. All right. Right there, making sure that this is good. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, let's do this. Let's see. In this video, we're going to be reviewing. Yeah, let's do this again. In this video, we're going to be reviewing Bravo Studio versus AppGyver. You'll learn 3 things. You'll learn 3 things. Number 1, the features. Number 2, the pricing. And number 3, we're going to look at the designs. So if you look at what I'm doing right there, then I'm breaking down the different sections right there. Hey, what's going on? Look at this. Trey's here. What in the world? We got everyone this morning. Everyone this morning coming in. Hold on a second. Do this. Awesome. Anthony in the building. Great to see you. Awesome. And first of all, Jay, what are you doing up so early? I know I had to stream a little bit early because I'm doing this new format, so I'm trying it out. I'm like an hour early. Nice to see everybody. Good to see everyone. So we're gonna record these 2 reviews, and then in the chat, I'll be watching the chat in a second and all that kind of stuff. And let me know if you have any questions. So we're gonna go through these reviews. I'm recording it, and then let me know what you think and all that kind of stuff. So after I do the reviews, then I'm going to thanks, man. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. D. Johnson, I appreciate that. Let me know if I can help in any way. You're waking up at 7 in the morning now. Man, that's too early. All right. So we're going to go through this. We're going to review this, all this stuff right here. And then we'll go into the next review. And if you have any no-code questions specifically as I'm going through this review, let me know. And I'm going to answer it right after we go through this first section. So let's do this first one. All right. Bravo Studio. Okay. In this video, we're going to be reviewing Bravo Studio versus AppGyver. In this video, you'll learn 3 things. We're going to go over 3 things. Number 1, the features. Number 2, the pricing. And number 3, the design. All right, so we had the intro, and now we're going to go into looking at what's happening. Now I'm just going to do a review. So it's like, Bravo Studio is a platform where you can design and create native apps. The platform allows you to build prototypes really easily. The platform allows you to build prototypes really easily. If you look at how to use this platform, you can first design it with Adobe XD or Figma, and then you can connect it to real data such as Airtable to power the app. After you do that, you can test and publish the app in a few minutes. So that's the intro over there. And then we have that. What is AppGyver? AppGyver is a platform where you can create a professional no-code app. What is AppGyver? AppGyver is a platform where you can create a no-code app, either if it's on mobile, desktop, browser, or wherever it might be. And you can be using these professional tools all for free. All right, so we just broke down the 2 right there. Let me look at this. I'm going to say it right here. Let's take a look at the features. Bravo has a few different features that can help you build a lot quicker with your app. For example, when you're using this, you can use the power of Airtable, Zapier, Webflow, and others to really power the app experience. With Airtable, you can build out the database so it allows you to do a lot more. And then also too, if you're using Webflow, it can allow you to have more functionality. With Zapier, then you can do different workflows, different automations, all in Bravo. If we look at the animation, and this is what stands out with this, you can be using animations such as Lotties and others, GIFs, to really start making your app look totally different than anyone else's on the market. This is crucial because a lot of different app builders, it's usually limited with the design, but because you're pulling in the design from Figma, you can design the app exactly the way that you want it to be. If we're looking at AppGyver and its features, there's a few things of note. Number 1, it has unlimited logic in the back end. So when you're creating your app, you can build out the logic visually. I like this because instead of me worrying about trying to figure out like coding or something like this, visually, I can say, I want this to happen, and then connect it visually, and then I can have this accessible in my app. Also, too, you can bring your own data with AppGyver. It has its own database, but if you're going to be using other things like if you're going to be using MySQL or other databases, you can bring that in as well. But one of the interesting parts about AppGyver is it has its own database, so it's not going to be using a third party like like Airtable necessarily. You can do everything all on one platform. Then right here, let's take a look at pricing. Let's take a look at pricing real quick. Let me go over here. Where's the pricing? Okay, so for Bravo, let's take a look at pricing. When we're looking at pricing for Bravo, it can start for free, but there's something to note. When you're doing this, you can only share it up to the app 3 per app. So it really allows you to get started just with an MVP. It's not going to allow you to scale for free. When you want unlimited shares, that's when you're going to have to pay 19 euros per month, and that's billed monthly. But again, if you do it yearly, you can get 2 months free. So that's something to keep in mind. So you can start for free, but it's going to be really limited to really allow you to test if this is a good MVP, if people like it, and then go from there. After you establish that, then it's going to cost you to really scale this project. If we're looking at AppGyver, though, and we're worried about how can it scale, AppGyver allows you to be using the platform for free until you have a revenue over 10 million. So it gives you a lot of runway. In fact, that almost covers every different type of business to get started with AppGyver. It's going to be a long time as you build this out. It depends on where you are and in your journey, where your pricing is or what you can afford. But there's something to keep in mind. If I was going to go with Bravo Studio, I would still use Bravo Studio just to validate my idea, and it's going to be free. So I don't have to really worry about that. I would then have to start having my app pretty well funded, or have my app charging annually over $50 or $100 to start covering my costs. So it depends on what kind of app that you're creating. You can't be having an app of $1 or 99 cents downloads, because then look at how many users you're going to have just for it to cover your initial costs. You would have to have a premium app. Then you could charge $50, $100, $100+ per year, or annually or monthly for your app, and then that allows you to scale with purpose. But that's something to consider with your audience, what you're trying to build, and initially, like, what kind of app you're trying to make in general. When we're looking at AppGyver, though, I can basically have the time to experiment, build out what I want, and I don't have to worry about the pricing because it's going to be free up to $10 million. So this allows me to really focus on my audience, not be stressed about when do I have to make it profitable, and then really scale with purpose if I'm going to be choosing AppGyver. All right. Here, right here, right. So now I'm going to look at the design of the two. I'm going to bring this back. Bring it back here. Bring it back here. Okay. It's features. Let's go back to the very beginning. Okay, cool. Right there. There we go. All right, now we're going to be taking a look at the design of the two platforms. Let's start with Bravo. If you look at Bravo, first of all, I like the aesthetics. Their team is really it's just very modern. And now I'm going to change that up. Let's take a look at the design of the two platforms. If we go into Bravo Studio, if you look at it, it's pretty minimal. And not only that, I like just the vibe of the platform itself. It's pretty modern, and I like just how they do their tutorials and everything like that. Very, very easy to understand. But I would note, when you're getting started, it says connect your designs, it says connect your designs, creating mobile apps from your designs with Bravo. So this is a great platform, but you have to have experience with Figma or with Adobe XD to really utilize this platform. Remember, this is design first. When you're using Bravo Studio, it allows you to make an app that looks like your own. No one else can copy your own design because you can make it so customizable in Figma. But the thing to use Bravo Studio is you have to be proficient in Figma or Adobe XD first. That's another layer to consider. So do you have experience with Figma? Do you have experience with Adobe XD? If you don't, then you're going to have a larger learning curve before you can start utilizing Bravo Studio to its full degree. Again, is Figma very hard to learn how to use? Not really, but remember, to utilize this and to move fast, you're going to have to be able to use one of the two platforms. From there, you're also going to be able to use your new project. If we look at the data library over here, then we're going to be able to start looking at the new collections, or what are we going to bring in. And this is where we can bring in Airtable or just a blank request. So if we're looking at API requests, which is just two systems talking to each other, this allows you to decide if you're going to use Airtable or something like that. If we go down, then we have sample apps. So we can use the sample projects to see how to get started. I like this because then it allows me to just, if I'm totally clueless or I feel overwhelmed, I can just go here to get started. I'm going to pick search and filter. When I'm over here, now I can start looking at some of the designs in the library back here to start using it. And now that I have this, I can get started and start using some of these samples to see how I feel and to get started with my app. If we're looking over here, it talks about selecting a request. Again, this allows us to understand what's going on. So when it's talking about cars, details, all those things, it's allowing you, where it says get, it's talking about the API poll. So it's talking about what it's going to be doing. If I'm looking at this, what I would do if I was getting started, I would first look at working on Figma first, bringing in what I want, and then detailing my design and making it functional. So again, there's another layer. If I want to use Bravo, I think it would be best if someone is proficient with Figma or Adobe XD to really move fast with this platform. If we're looking at AppGyver, AppGyver allows you to start with a blanket slate, very similar to like Bubble or other builders. On the left side of the screen, you're going to be seeing the basic components. The middle is going to be showing you the display, and then changing the details and properties is going to be on the right side of the screen. This allows you to, again, move with purpose of, I'm going to build basic things. I can drop buttons on the screen. I can do whatever. I can change the details of the button, and then I can change the styling on the right-hand side of the screen. If I want to do something like logic-based or anything like that, I can click the element or the component like this, the button, and then I click add to logic. And then right here, now I can start editing, adding different things that I want, such as actions and all of those things. Again, so it's a pretty streamlined process as you're working in AppGyver. The thing to note as you're doing this, you're building this from scratch, and you will have to spend some time to get the design the way that you want it. This is, I would say, it's very basic blocks. It's powerful, but you're going to have to spend some time to really think about the design, versus Bravo Studio is almost the exact opposite. It's design first, and then you're going to be adding in everything else on top of that. All right, so if I look at this, looking at Bravo Studio versus AppGyver, what would I use? The winner would be, it depends. And the reason I say this, it really depends. They are so polar opposite of why you would use AppGyver versus Bravo. And the two type of users I would say that would be proficient on it. For Bravo Studio, if you're design first, you're a graphic designer, you love Figma, you do all of these things, Bravo Studio is going to be a dream. It's going to be your best friend, because you're going to be able to design the app the way that you want it, and you won't have to worry about the details of just having to worry about the limitations of design on AppGyver. You can build and you can design the way you want with ease. On the flip side, for AppGyver, if you're looking for an MVP where you're just looking for components, you're not worried about design, you're looking for power, you're looking for a platform that has everything and all in one, a database, all those things, AppGyver is going to be your choice. It goes back to the type of app you're trying to build, and also your past experience that's really going to decide on which one you're going to like more. So if you're a designer, a graphic designer, you want full control of the animations, you want it to have a look and feel of only what's in your mind, Bravo Studio right away. If you're looking for the functionality and you're trying to look for power and you're trying to utilize a lot of power and you're on a strict budget, you want to see how far you can go, AppGyver is going to be your choice. In the comment section down below, let me know which one you would be choosing and what kind of project you're going to be building. Also, tell me if you're a graphic designer or if you're a developer moving into low code and no code, and so we can make sure that this would be the right platform for your decision. Okay, so right there, if you looked at that for a second, I was just recording. If you just came in, I was just recording using Camtasia, and I was recording my reviews too while I was live streaming. So that goes back into, we were talking about working smarter and building out all of your content in a progressive way. Now we're actually recording the live stream call like this, and we're building reviews. So then the editor goes in and starts cutting it up in all of those things, right? So this is to show you can do this too. If you want to use repurpose Camtasia, you can do this same exact project or type. Real quick, we have I got a super chat in here. Hold on a second.
Super chat.
Thank you so much, G Johnson. Appreciate you. Talking about, I aim to build my own streaming service. Okay, good times. Thank you so much for being here. And let's talk about that a little bit. Where are you? Are you just thinking about it? Are you thinking about what platform you want to use? Let me know. By the way, good morning, Erica. Yeah, we started a little bit early this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're trying out new products, new services. That's why we started a little bit earlier. Thanks so much for being here. And Phantom Reviews, you've been here in the chat for our live streams. Also, too, with the premieres, we've been seeing you. Thanks so much. Global Law Media saying, I am a lawyer who wants to turn my channel into a streaming service. Oh, okay. So I see. Okay. So you're I gotcha. So you're coming in there. Okay. So wants to turn my channel into a streaming service. Okay. All right. Let's think about this. So there's a couple different ways of doing this. It depends if you're trying to, okay, I have a website that mainly embeds YouTube videos. Okay, so what would I use? It depends if you're trying to if you're doing a paywall, or if you're just trying to do straight streaming. Okay, this is what I'd use. Hold on one second. Let's go here for a second. Let's do this. Hold on one second. I would probably use two different things. If I'm just using my website and I want to make it more efficient and I want to have a different section for streaming, I probably use VLoud before it's gone. Let's see, is VLoud still here? Let me tell you. What? Hold on. Is VLoud gone? Am I just spelling it wrong? Maybe it's gone already? Am I signed in? All right, let me show you. Maybe it's gone from SUMO. Erica, let me know if it's gone from the store. I want it to be free to the public, but eventually down the road have a paywall. Okay. So VLoud allows you to create a TV channel, and you can create it just like a streaming service, on demand, all of those things. What I like about it is you could control the programming, and you can either have it like a video on demand where they can pick the video, or you can have a linear scheduled channel. And so you load up the shows or the content you want, and it runs in the line. So it's just like a TV network. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, it will already queue and play one of your videos. It will switch and basically allows you to become that media company, that media platform. So you can decide where it's linear, you control the programming, and when they come into your website, they have to wait until the appropriate show at a certain time. Or you could be doing a video on demand channel where people can just choose what they're looking for at the time. It depends on the style. So let me know too if which one you would be looking at, and what you're thinking about. But I would probably choose one of these things. Also too, what's interesting about this, you can also use this on your own website, but you can also have this as a native mobile app. And you can put this on Roku, Apple TV, OTT platforms. So this would be a pretty good one that I would probably use. Let's take a look. Also, too, you can be doing 24-hour where it's going to let you use it for YouTube. You're basically the RTMP. You're going to be able to do that in the future. It's on the roadmap, or one of the features that's going to be requested. So I think it's probably going to be in the next 2 quarters. So, excuse me, it's something to keep in mind. Let's take a look. Football 88 says, Doc, I just got my first no-code gig for a client using Glide. Looking forward to this live. Oh my goodness. What? Hold on a second. That's awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, and if you have any questions on Glide or anything like that, or I'm so happy about that. Glide is a great platform. I'm glad you're going to be crushing it with that. Congratulations. Keep me updated on that. Really good stuff. Yeah, we talked about Glide a few weeks ago. Really good stuff. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Great stuff. Thanks for letting me know. Keep me updated, man. Keep me updated. So, yeah, Global Law Media, I would probably go with VLoud. Although it is gone in the store in AppSumo, I still think it'd probably be the best option for you. Let's take a look at how much it is right now. Okay, so Pro 29. So it depends on your budget. Depends on your budget too. So they oh please. No, you're doing all the good work. I'm just glad that we could help, and thank you so much for being here and supporting the channel. So yeah, I'm sorry it's gone, but I would probably do something like this. Now, are there cheaper options? Yes, but it does take a lot more maintenance. So you could use other third party. I mean, you could use Google Cloud Platform to really do it. You just got to work harder and to maintain it. VLoud's just going to do everything for you in the back end. Let me log in so you can see what it looks like. So it's pretty easy. I mean, I have my channels right here. So I can add the channels, how many I'm doing. I can add the videos. So it's all my cues right here. And then right here, I can just create the live stream if I'm going to be going live here. I can have the content library. I can manage my uploads and then my websites. So I can create this, put it to the website, embed it, all this stuff. And then I can watch my analytics, what's happening. I haven't been using it that much. I did it for a couple tests. The reason I'm holding off on using it, but I have a very specific use case. I plan on building a 24-hour like motivational YouTube channel, kind of like old school like videos of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, like a compilation of like all these motivational videos. And then so I'm waiting for VLoud to allow me to do 24-hour channels on YouTube, and then I'm going to plug it in that way. So, but if you just want to use it for your website, you're going to be fine with it. I would do that. So it depends on your, again, let me know in the chat, or you can just think about it. You don't have to let me know live if you don't want to, but I would just depend on how much money you're willing to invest to make sure that this is something you could be using. But for ease of use, you can embed this bad boy. You'll be good to go. Is this better than OBubble? That's a good question. It's different. It's different. So OBubble is, for right now, OBubble will allow you to create very easily I would use that if I was doing a 24-hour YouTube channel, and that was my main focus. I wouldn't use OBubble if I'm trying to do this in my website, do all these other things. I just wouldn't see the need to do that necessarily, because they are very proficient if I'm trying to create a 24-hour channel for YouTube or something like that. For VLoud, I'm already doing something with my website. I can be using this for multiple use cases, and I won't have to be tied to like a streaming platform like YouTube, so it's up to you. But I would probably go to the customer showcase and see it. But the major way that I see it is if I'm looking for my website and people are going to be engaging with my content and I'm making it for my own. So like right here, on air, water for gold. Interesting. Okay, so right here, they're making Monster Valley a supporter emerging in alternative arts in New Zealand for the last decade. See, so supports local creators 24 hours showcasing their art and culture. And they're cutting out the ads. So how can they do that? Probably they are charging the creators maybe, or they're getting money somewhere else and then they're having this as a provision. That's interesting. But you could also on this platform, you can also utilize ads to make this profitable if you're doing that as well. Depends on what you're trying to do. Yeah, really good. Really good. So yeah, Bubble, if I'm staying on YouTube only, if I'm doing this for my brand and everything like this on a website, I would probably do this. Cool. Great questions. Great questions. All right, awesome. Let me exit out of that one. So we just did that. Let me make sure if I've got all the questions right here. Okay, cool. I think we're answering a lot of the questions. Okay, cool. Also, too, we're going to be doing a lot more. If people care about Glide, let me know in the chat because I think I'm going to be doing some more videos. Like, say, for instance, I have this. I'm doing guides for Glide as well at the moment. Like, say, for instance, like Glide chat tutorials, like how you would build out chat. So right now, it's not done yet. So that's why I haven't dropped the link for this Glide one. But you see, it's breaking down how you would make the databases in Glide app, stuff like that. It's not done yet. But if you're interested in Glide and want more videos, let me know. I think it's a great platform for a lot of use cases. You can even do enterprise and things with like healthcare because it has security for HIPAA compliance and things like that. So it's a lot of cool stuff. Let's see. Global Law says, hold on one second. Good point. I would also like to have a 24-hour, lo-fi. Yep. So keep in mind, if you want to do this, this is going to be a feature in the future for it to be able to use it with YouTube. Right now, you can just live stream it, but to put it on autopilot, like you see with like Lo-Fi Girl and others, it's not going to allow you to do it yet, but it's in the works. So I would probably say in the next 2 quarters, something like that. I don't want to rush them, but it's definitely on the map, but it's not there yet. But that's what I'm thinking. Like, if I'm going to look down the road, I'm betting on this platform. The creators have extensive experience in this field. They're committed and they're not going to go anywhere. It's not like a fly by night. I'm really impressed with this platform. Okay, good question. Okay, so we're over there. We're switching over. Also, too, it's Sumo Day the next 3 days. Let me know if you have any questions on, best deals you want me to go over, things like that, like sleepers. I think I'm gonna pick like my sleepers for this quarter coming up. So if it's something from AppSumo that you're looking for, you want me to like run through my top 5s or something like that, let me know later in the stream for sure. Okay, let's see what we got here. So Sumo Days over there. I think I just talked about Bravo. I'm gonna also let me go back to dashboard. I think I'm gonna compare Bravo Studio to also Softer. So if anyone wants to know about Softer, this is the chance as well right now. I personally, probably my 2 biggest platforms that I'm promoting for no code right now is probably Softer or Glide. Now, I would say if you're trying to create MVPs or you're just getting started and you're trying to validate like a marketplace, things like that, I would definitely lean towards Softer and Glide. It can almost do probably like 96% of all the things that are most common. There are some other ones, like if you're trying to do something with augmented reality, machine learning, AI, there might be another platform I'd choose. But for the most part, most projects, I can pretty much show you that Glide or Softer would be a great starting place. All right, question. What's your top 5 Sumo Day choices? Okay, all right, let's take a look here. Let's take a look. If you're not familiar with AppSumo, AppSumo.com allows you to get great deals. I'm just going to let you know it's addictive, so don't blame me when you spend too much. But you'll see me do videos and all that kind of stuff for them. But they're really good. So let's go down the rabbit hole and talk about my top 5. All right. This I know I said I'm going to bring out my top 5. It really depends on what you're trying to do. So if you're an agency, I have a few options if you're trying to run your business. If you're a content creator, if you're just tell me what you're looking for in the chat too, or if you're just trying to create a no code project, what would you choose? Okay, so there's one that's actually not featured on Sumo Day. Like, I don't think it's one of the choices or like one of the promoted ones, but you can get this, and I think it's 10% off right now. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be doing a full deep dive on it, but I'm going to let you know right now because once people understand how crazy this is going to get, um, it's going to be gone before you know it. Beezer, I think, is going to be probably my sleeper pick of possibly the year, and it might be definitely the quarter. The Beezer might be the sleeper of this year, and no one's really talking about it. It's not promoted that much, but if I was going to really get started with a no-code tool and I wanted to expand, and I'm on a tight budget, I would probably go with Beezer. Now, why would I go with this? First of all, they've been around for a couple of years, so I know that they're not going to like close shop tomorrow, all of those things. But what I'm really interested in is Beezer is going to be coming out with upcoming. It's not out yet, so I'm just letting you know. It's going to allow you to implement membership programs, reoccurring subscription payments, and you can create a marketplace with this app. Okay, so the reason I bring this up, a lot of times people come to me and they're like, hey, I want to create a marketplace. I want to do all this stuff. And my usually go-to would be Sharetribe. Sharetribe is not cheap, but I think it's the best experience. And if I wanted to scale out a marketplace, I would use that. The other option that I would have is softer in using a marketplace like this. But the problem with creating it in softer, there's still limitations of what I would do and to be able to scale it. And above all, softer is, again, I would have to pay annually or monthly. Right now, Beezer is on AppSumo for lifetime for free. You can start with $39 a month. Excuse me, $39 lifetime, not a month. So it's $39. I can create one app. I can have an initial 300 initial SMS credits. Again, this is me testing it, but I would probably do a license 3 where I'd have 50 apps that I could use, and then I would have 1,200 SMS credits one time, and I can have 50 sub accounts. Okay, so I can build my agency on the back of this thing for $147. I mean, that's why I'm going with it. That's why I'm going with it. Okay, so and I'm going to do a full breakdown video of it like this week or next week, but it's a sleeper. It's in the back of AppSumo. People aren't seeing it. If I'm doing Sumo Day, plus I get 10% off, I would get that. Ali asked, what's the difference between AppSumo and Product Hunt? Really good question. Product Hunt's more just for suggestions, and it's not going to give you deals like AppSumo. So Product Hunt's going to give me the deal of the day. This is also another addictive site where I can start seeing what's happening in startups and what people's projects are. It's really good to get ideas. But there's a couple things I would mention with Product Hunt. Sometimes people are launching their ideas and they're quick to abandon it. So if you look at Product Hunt and you look at their back catalog and you look at past suggestions a year ago, a lot of the sites are down because they're just fly-by-night ideas, a lot of them. And I would say the majority. Now, again, look at the volume of how many products are launching per day. So it's just the amount. It's just not going to stay, right? So keep that in mind. Product Hunt allows you to also see what's on cutting edge and what you would go from there. So I'd keep that in mind. Okay. So Product Hunt, I like it, but just it has pros and cons, but it's meant more for suggestions than what you're going to be doing over there. For AppSumo, you're going to have more stability. Now, I'm not going to front and say all these are going to stay. I've had a couple deals. Now, I think I've gone over 400 deals on AppSumo. Maybe I'm closer to 5, but maybe less than 10 of the companies have either been shut down or they've been acquired and they don't, continue. So keep that in mind. But for the majority, these are startups that are looking to make waves and stay. For example, Zapier premiered on AppSumo. Dropbox was on AppSumo when they first got started. MailChimp. So there's a lot of established companies that have come through AppSumo throughout the years. But again, there are a lot of, depends. But I would say also too, AppSumo's there for you to buy and start using it versus Product Hunt might just be, it depends on the company. It might be premiering a new feature that is paid. Sometimes it's not paid. But sometimes it is paid, sometimes it's not. So keeping that in mind. Football 88, would those be native or PWAs for Beezer? Keep this in mind. Let's take a look. Features one PWA usable and shareable across channels, Android, Apple, and desktop. So let me verify to make sure it can act as a native app as well, and you can submit it to the store. I'm going to see you can build multiple PWAs, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Now it's saying right there how it can be Android. I wonder if they're saying it for the reason you can still submit it to the store. No, I'm going to say that it's going to be more PWAs only. Yeah, I'm seeing it right here. Now, could you make it? I think it's probably just saying you could use it on Android and Apple devices. Now, could you do something like this and submit it to the store? Yes. Where's my other? I just had it. Hold on. Turning PWAs to native apps. You can have certain developers if you wanted. There's a couple sites that will just basically, the dev will create an app wrapper so you can submit it to the stores if you want. That's something to consider. The other thing to note is a lot of people, number one, if you submit it to the store, they can still take a large percentage, 30% or more, if you're trying to sell. So there's something to keep in mind. So if you're selling on the App Store, think about they're going to be taking up to 30% of the transaction. So that's why I'm a big believer in PWAs anyway, because I don't want the store to take that much from me. It's sometimes people view having a native app as prestigious because people can find it in the store. But keep in mind, are you looking for discoverability? People, how much are they going to be downloading? And then also too, the numbers of how many people uninstall or turn off notifications with native apps are really high. So looking at it depends on, if your client is asking for it, it has to be native, or what's your goal with native apps? Because it's an uphill battle when you're having it in the App Store. For sure. Oh man. Man, I appreciate it. Hold on a second. We got a super chat.
Super chat.
Global Media, thank you so much. Glad that this is profitable for you. Glad this is helping you out. Appreciate you being here this morning. MC, you're not disruptive. Oh, I just saw. Let's see. Hold on a second. Trying to grow his channel. I've seen your. Let's see, Nicholas Khan. Who is this, real quick? Trying to be disruptive. Who's in the chat? So Nicholas Khan is out about Austin. I think you were in one of our streams earlier. Let us know. Let us know if this is Austin promoting his own channel or if this is someone else. All right, cool. So let's see about this. Okay, so we just talked about that. Oh, top 5. Let's go through top 5. Okay, so if I was looking at getting something, I would probably do Beezer. If I'm trying to build out a full agency and if I'm on I'm trying to move purposefully, I would do that. Now, keep in mind too, especially Football 88, Glide allows you to do a lot more customization and the security. There's so many other features why I would still go with Glide if I'm trying to scale, because the community is more robust. You're going to have more experts. You can, once you really dive into one platform and you become an expert, then they're going to recommend you. There's a lot of other benefits as well. So this is the real thing. The one not using his real name, don't come into my chat and start spamming the chat with your channel. So we're going to ban you in a second if you're going to just keep promoting. Does that sound cool? Yeah. So if you're trying to promote and it's a gaming channel and you're coming into mine, make sure that you help the community. You help the community. Don't just spam with your YouTube channel, because this is a place where people learn new things. So if you're coming into this channel, make sure that you're promoting good things for people to help out. Don't just come to spam channels. Okay, cool. I have no problems with people coming in and collaborating, or we have people in the chat that now become business partners or featured because they're doing stuff. Make sure that you're really bringing value to the channel. Don't just spam things. Cool. And just to be focused, I'm talking about this one right here, this user. Cool. All right. So coming up next, let's go real quick. Let's go. So as we're looking at this, yeah, no problem. Football 88, no problem. Great stuff. And if you want, yeah, Glide has the expert program. So make sure that you check it out and everything like that. All right. Let's see about this. Okay, so we just went through Beezer. Let's take out another one. Let's check out another one. If I'm trying to project manage and I'm trying to do a lot of things where I'm working with my clients, I'm trying to do everything with my invoices, everything like that, Plutio has been gone for a minute. Plutio has been gone for a minute and it's back. I get questions all the time like, I wanted this back. I'm surprised. Plutio hasn't been back in a minute. I'm saying a couple of years. It's probably one of the most mature platforms that are featured on AppSumo. And so keeping this in mind, if I'm a one person agency or I have a small team and I'm looking for a all-in-one platform to manage, I would look at Plutio. If I'm used to using Asana, Basecamp, things like that, Plutio is pretty much going to be your thing. Now, I will say one thing when you're looking at Plutio, because it's on all-in-one, what I find is most all-in-one platforms like this, you're going to run into a problem where because it does everything, it's not going to be excellent at one specific thing. What I mean by that is if you're looking at one specific thing to run your business or there's one workflow that you love, Plutio might not have all of those things readily available just because it's covering such a wide range of things to run your agency or your business. So what I would do is write down what you need help with, how you want to streamline your business, and then see if this aligns. For the most part, Plutio is going to be a really good option. I mean, I can log in and show you. I used it in the past. Our business structure has really changed, so that's why I don't use it as much, but it's a great option. Let's see. Am I logging into this one? I think this is the right account. Okay. So right here, yeah, and they've actually changed the design since I've been in here. I actually like it. It's a lot more minimal. I like this a lot, actually. The colors threw me off before, but this is really minimalist. I like this a lot. So I can run my projects right here. I can see my projects at a glance. What's going on? Are they in progress, pending, delayed? What's going on here? Financials, proposals, contracts, inbox, also wiki. So if I want to have all my documentation in one section. Yeah, I really like this. Global media, law media says, could you explain what type of agency you were referring to? You used this a few times. Okay, so that's a good question. What I mean by that is if I'm an agent, if I'm rendering services for clients, I would view that as an agency. So if I am providing services, depends on the services. If I'm a copywriter, if I'm a graphic designer, if I am managing ads, it really depends. But I could see almost any type of agency or even solo entrepreneur that is working with clients. So I would say anyone rendering services for clients, that's what I mean by that. Really good question. Yeah, if I'm doing that, because sometimes you're trying to invoice the person, so you're using one. Sometimes you're doing project management, you're using Trello or Asana or Bootcamp. Maybe you're using Squid Hub. There's a couple things. So Plutio allows you to do all of those things all in one platform. And I would take advantage of it because, how much you're usually spending on like these different platforms per month. It's a one-time $49, $59 for 5 teammates, and then you get everything lifetime. So it can substantially cut down on your cost per month in your overhead. Let me know if that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so what we have here is, let's take a look at this. Plutio. Plutio, what did we say? Beezer? Okay, I need 3 more that I would use. And Erica, tell me which ones that you're thinking about getting as well, or what you are looking for that for the Sumo Day. How does Beezer compare to a Book Like a Boss and Guru Can? Very different. That's a good question. So I would even say that they're totally different. Book Like a Boss is going to be used for more appointments and building out. If I'm a consultant and I'm looking for scheduling, I'm all about meetings. I'm a consultant. I would use Book Like a Boss if I was a consultant. Guru Can if I was trying to scale my operation and I'm trying to build courses. I'd use Guru Can. Yeah. Good questions. Is Guru Can still here? Let's take a look. Yeah, and then they have Kato. That's interesting. I probably wouldn't use that platform personally for it. I would wait for another one, perhaps. I haven't used this one yet. Spay. Let's see about this. See about that. Yeah, if I'm doing courses, let's see. Oh, first of all, we got another super chat, man. Thank you so much. Hold on a second. Super goodness. Thank you for the love. Do I do private consulting? I do. So I do private consulting. If you're interested, I'll drop in my email and you can hit me up. Thank you so much for the super chat. Diesel? Diesler. Thank you so much. Oh, spelled my own thing wrong, right? Hold on one second. Let me put it back the right way. Did it wrong. Yeah, I usually do more group coaching, but I do if it's like a one time, yes. If it's like ongoing consulting, yeah, I do small group coaching. Let's see, brand factory. If I can spell. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, he's been a friend of the show actually. Andrew Camphy. Better Sheets. What I like about him is there's so many different businesses that you can just build out your MVP with Google Sheets. Camphy really, I think he has over like 300 templates of what he builds in Google Sheets. That's pretty interesting too. He's pretty awesome. He's pretty awesome. So if I was going to do that, I'm going to have an honorable mention for that for sure. Let me write that down. Okay, Better Sheets. Okay, and let's do a blitz of seeing what happens. Trying to compare Write to Phrase to see which one is better. Let me see about Phrase. I use Phrase. Phrase right here or right. Let me think about this. You already have Phrase, don't you? AI that writes for you. Content writing is draining, time consuming. Access 20 plus use cases and templates, generates, creates. Okay. Let me know if you are using Phrase. Okay, cool. All right. You won't be banned then. Cool. Yep. Just bring value. Bring value. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would look at. Oh, is it writer? Maybe I'm spelling wrong. And Diesler, thanks so much. Yeah, reach out. We'll see what we can do. But thank you so much for supporting. And if you have any questions, again in the chat, let me know. Trying to compare. I would probably do this only. It depends. Tell you the truth, Erica. Like if you're trying to do something like this, I would probably do it only if I'm trying to, if I have an agency or I'm writing a lot of copy for companies and I need help with like already priming the pump. I'm looking to create a lot of content for clients. I could use that. I could start this as a template and then go from there. What are they allows you to generate 50,000 characters per month? Okay, so an average blog is what 12 to 1500. Okay, so I could go with a couple premium clients, charging them maybe 1200 a month, maybe 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 clients. That would still give me a couple different articles that I could be pumping out for each of them, generated with this, and then I would go back and add things. But this would help me out. 50,000 on the max right there. Yeah, I would probably do something like that. So if I'm doing something with copy and I am trying to speed up my copy for clientele, I'd probably get it. But it depends on what you're trying to do. Erica, if you're doing this for your own blog, I think you have enough other platforms. I wouldn't really worry about it, especially if you're just increasing your SEO on your own personal blog. I wouldn't necessarily get this unless I'm trying to expand and have another offering or service for my clients. Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Let's see. Oh, scheduling. Tidy Cow. Am I saying that right? I just call it the Calendly alternative. This is pretty interesting. It's $19 lifetime. It's one of the AppSumo originals or Sumo family originals. It's let's see, 10 calendar connections, free and paid meetings, reduced branding. Yeah, $19. I mean, how much is Calendly when you're adding integrations? What is it, $10 or something like that per month? So again, if I'm looking for, I am a consultant. I'm trying to just have a very streamlined approach of taking payments, scheduling my calls. This is $19. $19. Yeah, cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So the consultants, if there's consultants in the audience, that's where I would be going. I'm going to put that on my list too. Let's see. What else we got here? Can we rapid fire this thing? Thought I could add it to my own blog and also promote clients' events. Yeah, if it's just for that, I might not. If I'm just trying to do that, if I'm trying to build it out for another offering, I would do it. You've got a couple other ones that I would just use instead. Linkjoy, they're back. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen this in so long. Fleek is back. Oh my goodness, a blast from the past. What has it been, 2 years? Okay. Also too, for OneStream Live, it's not bad. It's an alternative. I like not Repurpose. I love them too, but I like Restream better than OneStream Live. If I'm looking for I need something like now to start streaming to multiple platforms, yeah, I would use OneStream. I like Restream better, but if I'm looking in the store, it's out here, I would use it. Fleek. Now, Fleek is something interesting. I never use it as much as I should, but what I love about Fleek is you can create tutorials really easily with Fleek, and you can share them. So if I'm trying to create an interactive library or something like that, I could be using this. It allows you to create wikis, unlimited viewers there, and if you want it to be in a certain language, it does have a different AI voice. It just doesn't sound natural to me. I don't like it. But if you need something to translate into another for another language or another region for the world, it also does allow you to translate and do stuff like that. You could build courses on this thing and all those things. Again, if you're trying to build out a business where you're creating very specific tutorials, then I would go with this. Not even just courses, very specific tutorials. I might use this later on. Yeah, I might use this. Is there a list of app builders and their pros and cons? That's a really good question. I'm building one out soon. I'm gonna have a full list and breakdown of it. It's gonna have to be a graph of, because it's, let me just show you. There's a couple options right here. No code builder chart. I think there's a few, but I'm building my own coming up. Let's see if there's a couple images. Do you have any videos on web promotion? Define web promotion. Define web promotion. Okay. This is decoding the no code and low code startup universe. Yeah, I'm going to put this in the chat. I am going to be building my own, but this is something. Let's see. Let's see about this, because there are so, okay, so do you see this? I had to get my head out of the way. Okay, I don't even think you can see all these. Hold on, let me zoom in. Can I? Hold on. Look, right, I can't even zoom in. I'm going to be building out like pros and cons of these things. I think this is too much. I think there's just too many choices that you can now just go down the rabbit hole. So these are, there are a lot of different choices. The problem when you're looking at something like this, it becomes so overwhelming. Now people just try them all out. They go down 1,000 different rabbit holes and they don't even get closer to what they're trying to accomplish. So my suggestion, instead of looking at all of these, what I do is I have a system where we're working backwards to get clarity, because I just think there's too many players in the space. There's a lot of great ideas, but let's just go one step at a time. Okay, so that's where I have how to validate your idea, and we're breaking down your idea and what you need to be done. And if you can go through this, and if you want, I can go through it on stream. This will allow you to find the right tool for you versus almost just being overwhelmed. I'm looking at this. I've tried, I would say 90% of this. It's just too much. For the vast majority of people, like, you don't need to even experience these because there's just too many choices. And then that just allows you to be paralyzed instead of acting with purpose to get to your goal. So if you want, we'll go through how to validate your idea, and that will allow you to find the right tool that you need. Is there a chart, something like that? I'm going to make a very an easier chart than this, but I feel like this is just too much for most people. Yeah. Let me see in the chat. Charles is saying, can you explain the difference? Hold on. Can you explain the difference between a desktop web app, publishing a progressive web app, and using a web view template? Okay, so Charles, actually, this is a great question. And now I have a video on the channel that breaks down all of those different types. So let's go through a couple things. So a desktop web app, all that is a optimized website. That's all it is. So if we look at Softer or something like this, it can build websites, but really it just means it's mobile optimized. Okay. So when I change my screen, let's see if I can do this. You see how it's optimized right here? And now it's responding. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Right? So a PWA, a progressive web app, or those types, that's all we're looking at. That's all we're looking at, right? So we're looking at the difference between a web app, publishing a progressive web app. Okay, so let's talk about publishing a progressive web app. If we're publishing it, we're making it have a app wrapper, which just allows it to have the right protocol. Basically, it's putting it in a box so the App Store, Google Play Store, or the Apple Store can now register and say, yes, you can now download this. So if you're going to be publishing it, it's going to be an app wrapper. That's what's going to be happening. Now, the next part, when publishing, yeah. Now, the other thing is, some people ask about it being like a native app or something like that. That's when you're looking at it It's not an app wrapper. It's totally native, or components are native for when you go to the App Store. It's basically has the right coding for it to be accepted to the App Store. And a lot of times, most native apps are going away because most popular social media apps and others, a lot of times they're more hybrid apps instead. So they're having the structure of some native elements, but the load time, the loading parts are going to be mobile, right? It's going to be refreshed by the internet. There are a few apps that work offline, and there are very specific cases, such as if you're building an app that is in a location in the world where there's not stable internet, you might do something like AppSheet where it has an offline mode. It depends on the functionality of your app, what you're trying to do, but all in all, that's what it'd be. Now let's see. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Also, Charles, you're saying Adalo says, what kind of app do you want to make? Option native, mobile, desktop. When publishing options are okay. So when you're looking at Adalo, again, this depends on what you're trying to create. I would just say, do you want it mainly to be just an app that someone's going to be using on their phone, or do you want it to be expansive for them to also be able to just go online and be able to experience the same thing? Great question. Great question. Yeah, there's one of the videos. I think it's. Let me look for it. I'll put it in the chat. Hold on 1 second. Let's take a look. Channel. Videos. Where is that video? What is the difference, native and web app? And that kind of goes into it. Let me put it in the chat. Let me put that in the chat. And that kind of goes into the definitions of the different ones. Yeah, if you're using Adalo, it kind of depends. So a lot of times people love Adalo because it allows you to have that native experience for their app. Just depends on what you're trying to do. Although some people use web apps if they don't have a website too, so they're using it for a 2-for-1. I'm trying to be an expert, but I'm just learning. Is Fleek like Waybook? I don't know what Waybook is. Waybook. Fleek like Waybook. Exclusive, powerful, turn documents and processes into transform your products, documents and processes into a powerful playbook for business. I would think this is similar. Yeah, Trainual, thought so. So this is more for SOPs, for standard operating procedures, and workflows for like internal use. I would probably use this for. Again, I guess you could use this for clients and everything, but for onboarding. But Waybook would do that. Fleek, I would say, is a little bit more visual, because not only can it do this, but its whole purpose is video and like bite-sized videos as well. So I would have to, if it's getting closer to Trainual, that would be more SOPs for internal uses, or that's what I would see. So there could be similarities, but I'd probably use them for two different things. What's the difference between Restream and StreamYard? Not much anymore. Restream keeps adding features to copy StreamYard. I mean, all of them get, all of them are similar. They do different things. So StreamYard, I would just say I like the user experience better when I'm bringing in guests, and it's a lot more simpler, but I have a lot more options with Restream, where how many places that I'm streaming at once. I'm actually using Restream and StreamYard together. So I'm broadcasting on StreamYard, and then going broadcasting on YouTube, and then I'm doing a custom RMTP that then shoots it to my Restream, so I'm broadcasting on another 8 platforms too. And the reason I'm doing that is when I can bring in YouTube directly from StreamYard, I can bring the comments on screen. I can't do that if I'm using Restream. Good question. See if I missed anything. Yeah. So, Diesler, I'm gonna go through how I would approach finding the right app platform real quick, and then I'm gonna do another review in a second as well. Okay. So let's work through, and you can be answering in the chat what's going on with you, but we'll go from there. Just found out about Wappalizer Chrome extension. Oh yeah, I love that thing. If you find websites, yeah, extensions, use analytics. Eli, that's exactly right. Wappalizer is awesome. Yeah. You see when I was can you see it on screen? Oh, you can't see it on screen. I guess because it's yeah, use that all the time. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Good stuff. And then also too, if you're using Synovio, they have a whole section. If you're a Synovio allows you to do outreach if you're looking for clients. It allows you to start sending out very specific emails to platforms that it scans what they're using, and then you can say, hey, you're using this tool. I should work with you. Really good stuff. Do I offer mentorship? Yes, I do. So there's a couple different levels. There's mentorship where it's group level. Sometimes I do one-on-one as well. But there is a couple different things. So you can always reach out at doc@brandfactorinc.com. But you can join the Build It community. That's when I do my weekly breakdowns of when people have questions. That's more like, people are just having questions on technology. If it's business and how to scale a business, all those things. Yeah, I do group coaching, and then I do one-on-one if it's like a one-off. You're trying to build something and you just need one time. Good question, but you can always just hit me up. Let me put my email in the chat. There we go. Cool. Good question. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's talk about turning your idea into reality. And this allows you to really focus on the right kind of platform that you need for no code. Okay, so what I would do is, first of all, I would think about, do people need your product or service? If you're not sure, find out more details about it. But when I'm looking at products and services, what are you a master at? Are you trying to create something that doesn't exist? Are you trying to scale yourself? For example, if you're in finances or real estate, you already have the knowledge, but you're trying to scale yourself instead of one-to-one, you're trying to go one-to-many. What do you want people to have access to? Is it your analytics and when you're looking at the market a certain way? What do you want that kind of app or business, online business to be so you can like scale yourself? The other version would be if you're thinking about creating an app and it's something that you think is a need in the audience or in the market, what does that look like? What are people using right now that's not working? That can be an app or just a website or something. It can be a quiz, an assessment. Don't just lock in that it has to be a full app. What are you trying to solve? How are you trying to help them? I would look at that. Then you look at, okay, does it already exist? Now, some people ask like, well, the thing that I'm trying to create doesn't exist. So, okay, but tell me what you're trying to create now. So it might not be an app that exists, but there's probably something that people are doing manually or something that is out in the world that we can copy to create an app. For example, a lot of people ask about like AI. They're doing something with augmented reality. They're doing something with machine learning. Like, even though it doesn't exist, we can still work on creating something, but I need to know like what that looks like. For example, some people are like, well, I understand something and I want to create like machine learning based off of my knowledge. Great. You can use like something like Pelterion, and that allows you to model out your own thinking patterns and then create it with machine learning and portions of AI. So like, just because it's not there on the market, there are still tons of different no code things that are there to create what you want. So really isolate, what are you trying to do? Like, what does it look like? Then as we go through this, does it already exist? If you say yes, okay, if you want to create the next Instagram, instead of just thinking about, I want to create the next Instagram, what would make you different? Why would someone use yours instead of Instagram? Because you've got to think about, you're getting people off of Instagram, something that is so solely created with the addiction and all of those things, why would someone use something different? So, for example, if you're doing Facebook groups, I want to do Facebook groups, but I want people to have more security and they're off of Facebook. Okay, so you're doing a Facebook group alternative. So you're still doing something that's similar, but now there's a very specific reason why you're pivoting, right? So think about what makes your app idea, your business idea different or better than what's in the competition right now. Like, where is it, Erica? What is it called? Guestbook or nice? What is it called? Guestbook? Guestbook. It's alternative for Facebook groups. It was on AppSumo. What is that called? Let me know in the chat. Guestbook, nice book. It's not nice board. I know that's the other one. Let me know. You know it, Erica. Let me know. I'll keep going, but please put it in the chat. Okay, so once you get it from there, will people want it? This is the biggest thing. So many people try to find app platforms and they're like, I just want to build, and they tinker and they never launch anything. So work with purpose. You have to go for the ask. Before you even build something on Bubble, Glide, AppGyver, you have to first see, no, oh, it's Tribe, but it's something else. Oh my goodness, hold on. As I go down this is going to drive me insane. Let me just check real quick. This is going to drive me insane. Let me go into my account. 1 second. This is just going to kill me if I can't remember this. Where is it? Epiphany, no. Guest board. It's guest board. Okay, so guest board, the thing that they build their app on, their platform, is it's going to allow you to have a centralized hub to have events, and it works as an alternative to anything with Facebook groups, and it looks 10 times better because now it has the right look and feel of a great community, and you can do streaming, you can do all those things. Yes, thank you so much, Erica. You got it. So Tribe, I love guest board. So think about what is it missing, right? That's one of the things when you're trying to pick out an app platform. The other thing is, do people want it? You ask them, and then they might say yes, but this is the huge part that a lot of people don't get to, and it's too late in the game. Go for the ask. If you're designing this, if you're designing a platform, you're designing something in whatever, before you go and spend hundreds of hours trying to learn Bubble, ask them, are they willing to pay for it? And if they say yes, you put up a payment link and you test if they're willing to pay for it. And the reason behind it is people will always support you if you talk to your grandma, you talk to your spouse, whatever. But unless you start testing that people are really going to pay for your stuff, you could be going down a path of just building and now never validating, and then you lose track of what you need to do. Football 88 talks about that he just got a client. I love to see it. Go for once to see if people are willing to pay for your services. You have to get to the ask as quickly as possible. Then we can decide on what platform, what to build out, and all those things. Because instead of trying to think about all the features and the woulda, coulda, shoulda, what I could have done on my platform, we're really focused on what do people want? What do people want and what are they paying for? And let's validate that. Then let's go find a platform. Yep, prepay. That's exactly right. You've got to see what they're willing to pay for. And then we can sift out the rest. Because I can guarantee 99% of the time, it's a lot easier than what you think. What most people do, and especially creators and makers, they want to tinker so much and they're not focusing on the business aspect. And I'm not saying business is everything, but it gives you a false sense of security and you're never sure if this is going to scale because you've never gone with the price. And now we're scrambling. We're thinking we need more features. Your audience says they're not willing to pay for it because of X, Y, and Z. No. Get a prepay and then go from there. We've done this with creating Notion pages and people do it. We can do it with Book Like a Boss. You can do it with TinyCal where people are going to pay for whatever. Get people to put skin in the game. And if they're not willing to put skin in the game, that means you have to go back to the drawing board to understand what your app should be good for, how it's going to impact their life. You go through all of that before you build a single thing. And that's how you save so much time, money, and energy. Let me know if that makes sense in the chat. Yeah. And yeah, Diesel, let me know if that makes sense for picking the right kind of platform. After you decide on that, and after someone's willing, I don't care if it's even $5, because you can always just refund them afterwards if it doesn't work. But you have to at least, you've got to have them put their money where their mouth is, because if not, they're just going to say, oh, let me know when that's finished. Let me know when that's done. I would love to get it. And then you know what? You go back to them 5 months later, they don't want to pay for it. So you wasted all that time waiting for that could have money, where it could have just been like, oh, you're serious? Okay, well, I'm opening up a founders round. It's only going to have X amount of spots. Boom. Where'd you go? Just seems like a no-code web app. Let's see. Way. Yeah. Let me know if that makes sense in the chat. Let's look at that. Way. That's how it's spelled, Erica? Way. Oh, I see. Is it Q where is this it? Which one are you saying? Is it called just Way? Let's see about this. Way drag and drop component. See, it's on SUMO there. See, but landing pages, yeah, I guess. It's not bad. It reminds me of Card, an early version of Card. Unlimited pages, unlimited templates, analytics, free way domain, HTML tags. Oh, Jozome, good question. So what is no code? So you'll get some, there's a lot of different definitions, but basically it allows you to create applications or tools without needing to code. That is what no code is. Examples. Now, the reason I would say that's interesting, because back in the day when some people would use terms like drag and dropper, people are now just using the term no code to substitute drag and dropper, I've noticed. But it is different. It is different. Okay. Yeah, it is. It is different. So if you're looking at no code can be anything allows you to create without needing to code. So for example, software is no code, right? So it says no code required. But there is a spectrum of what you can do, because technically, I mean, it's not even technically, Bubble.io is a no code platform. It allows you to build. What I would say is there's a huge learning curve difference, though, with something like Bubble, because I believe this is this is, I would say, on the spectrum of visual programming. This allows you to visually take what you want and then build out visually an app. But to learn that workflow and the methodology is very different than something like Software or Card that is also considered no code. Okay, so there's a spectrum of how powerful the platform is and how easy it is to learn. So Software and Glide, I put on one spectrum where it's really easy. It's easier. I wouldn't say it's simple, but it's easier to get started and it's very powerful, versus you could almost build anything. There's a couple caveats, but you could build 99% of the things you want in Bubble. Like, say, for instance, our boy Stephen Campbell that just sold, congratulations, he just sold his first startup. Where's my... Yeah, congratulations, Stephen, if you're watching. He sold Virtual Ghostwriter to a marketing agency. And what you're seeing right here, this allows you to ghostwrite. So you tell it what you want to create, and then it will write it for you. So it was just like what Erica was talking about, the writer. This is very specific if I'm trying to write certain articles and things like that. Yeah, no problem. And this was built on Bubble and built with GTP3, which is an AI, basically allows you, it's a protocol that allows you to use AI. And so you put in the request and then it actually creates copy for you. He created this all with Bubble. He didn't have to code anything, and he exited that company. So this is an example of like what you could do. Now the design changes, things like that, but you can do this. The other one is like Wellos.co. Shout out to Dan Perry from the UK. So he created this monetize your skills, the content and time. Wellows helps well-being creators get paid by letting fans subscribe to their work. Imagine OnlyFans, but wholesome, right? So this is something he built with Bubble. He did this all himself. And this is something similar to, I'd say, probably to Patreon. And he did this all. He did this all with Bubble, right? So now keep in mind to do something like this, it took him a couple months to do this, but I mean, he owns the whole thing, and it's a one-man show. He can scale it, but you also have to learn API calls with what is it? With Stripe and things like that. What do you make mentor? What do you make mentor in? What does mentor mean? What do you make mentor in? What's mentor? Give me some details. Great questions. I don't know. I don't quite understand that, but let me know. Let me know. Okay. But let me know. Good questions. Okay. So, again, really depends on what you're trying to do, but there's a spectrum for sure. Okay. So, let me know also, too, if Diesler, if that makes sense, the progression of like to picking the right no code platform. And then again, if you're walking yourself, let me put this in the chat. So if you want to walk yourself through this and you have questions, you're trying to validate your side hustle, go through this exercise. I'm dropping the link in the chat. Excuse me. I'm dropping the link in the chat. But this will allow you to walk through, the exact same thing that we just talked about. And also, too, if you want other episodes and you want to be on the mailing list, you can jump in that way, too. Okay, let me make sure I'm going to review another. So I think I went through everything I would do on Sumo Day. I'm going to also Way, yeah. So if I'm trying to do like a card alternative, I would get Way. Surprised they went with that spelling, that word, but that's interesting. But this is the other thing. You know how much I love AppSumo, but the thing is, work with purpose, because there's so many deals. You can get so lost in looking at every deal. Focus on what you need. Focus on what you need and then go from there. Okay. What is it that I teach? I teach how to create online businesses and make it profitable. So I teach how to create no code tools, all of those things. But what I really focus on is just leveraging tech to make the business of your dreams. So if you're trying to make an online business, instead of just tech only, what do you want to accomplish? What kind of business are you trying to do? Let's do that. So it'd be more of a mixture of a business coach with the leaning of teaching you how to use technology as well. Good question. Okay. All right. So I have too many tabs. Let me just start deleting some tabs. And then we're going to go into looking at probably softer versus Brave Studio now. Let me know if you have any more questions. Let's see. Got way too many tabs here. AppSheet's another great one. Depends on if you need it, though. I need to save this. Interesting links. Let me save that real quick. I have like 20 tabs open. 1 second. Yeah, we went through a lot. Okay, Glide. User. Good Lord. Do you have a Discord server? That's a really good question. Yep. You can jump in Discord over there. Hold on. Erica, I need to start giving you the links too, Erica. Where's my links? Yeah, so you can always jump into Discord. We answer questions all the time there. 1 second. Let me jump over there. Yeah, so if anyone wants to jump in the Discord, I just spam the chat. You can jump in over there as well. Okay, so let's gonna move this over. Move that. Okay, so we're gonna compare. We're gonna compare Softer to Bravo Studios. Let me log into. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. But we're gonna review these two. So again, so what you're seeing is, so we just showed if you're just joining us. So I'm doing multiple things, right? So I'm live streaming, and also too, I'm cutting my episodes of doing the reviews of the different products as well. So at the beginning, we just did a review of like Bravo Studio versus AppGyver. As I was doing that, I was in Camtasia. I just finished the edit right there of recording, and then I'm sending that off to the editor as they're cutting that video as we're live streaming right now. So just scaling, working in a streamlined process. So now you don't have to do double the work. What's your favorite website building software? Ooh, Phantom Reviews. That's tough. You know what? Thank you, by the way. Erica, I'm going to give you the link so you can drop links for people. Let me go to my links for brand. These are all the links. So this is like my affiliate links. This is my link for Discord. Oh, Launch Stash, right? So if people want different affiliates, you can just drop that. Thank you so much, Erica. Like courses, you'll see all of the links right here. I'm going to drop that in the chat. Because then we have the favorite tools all here, but we also have like, yeah, we have everything right there. I mean, I'm just going to drop it in chat for you. Thanks. Let me see if, make sure that I'm sharing that link. Oh, let me make it public. Copy. Cool. Thanks, Erica. Drop this. Cool. Thanks. And if you're looking at it too, I mean, I don't have a problem with people seeing it. So if you're looking at it, this is how we structure our entire business. So we have a structure of if people are joining the community membership, if they're doing coaching prep, coaching page assessment, coaching enrollment, right there. Actually, I gotta delete that one because we're changing some things out there. So let me put it over in another tab. But it has all of our courses, discovery calls, Let's Connect, the kickoff call assessment. Also breaks down all of our tech stack of all the things that we use. Yeah, so thanks so much. Appreciate it. Okay, so my favorite website builder, it depends on what I'm using. If I'm doing a WordPress site, which I used for a number of years, and that's like how I built my first agency, probably Elementor is going to be like second to none if I'm doing WordPress. Now, a lot of people, WordPress just, straight scares people, and WordPress has its own learning curve. So I let people know, like, if you're not into WordPress, that's okay. If I'm using WordPress or I'm scaling, I'm going to use Elementor. And also, too, if I'm building a site that has, like, I'm optimizing for SEO and everything like that, I'm going to build an old school WordPress site. I'm going to stream it down, use an Elementor template that is like bare bones, so it's fast loading. And then I'm going to be using this as the builder. So many people build on Elementor and they have so many different great elements. That's my pick if I'm going to be using WordPress. Anything else, if I want something very, very simple, and I'm like, I just need a simple website, I need a landing page, I need it fast, I do not need to think about it, I'm just going to go with card.co. Like, it's a one pager, I don't need to think about it, I don't need all of the bells and whistle, I just need a modern looking site for me. I'll just go card.co. I'll just do that. Okay, like, hands down. Like, I'm not even going to think about it, just card.co. If I'm looking for some oomph or some power, that's when I would go to Softer. But if I'm just like, I just need a site, like, I don't need to think about this, like, stop making it so complicated, just go to Card. It's a one pager. You'll be fine. You don't even have to think about it. The templates are great, very modern, very good. If I'm trying to build like a full optimized site where I'm building a blog, I'm going to be playing the Google search game. I'm going to build a WordPress site, and I'm going to build just use Elementor. The problem I actually have more problems with like the domain, like the hosting and domains. I just don't like dealing with Bluehost anymore. I used to love them, and they've just become a dumpster fire. So I actually just avoid it because I just don't like the process anymore. Because now I have to use Google Cloud Platform instead when I'm building out WordPress sites, and I don't like GoDaddy. So I just have more problems with that. So I just find simpler sites better. So I use Card. And I'm just letting you know, my highest converting website that I've ever used is just a Notion doc that I just redirected. Like, no joke. So it kind of depends on what you're trying to do. If you're working with clients, if you're doing it for yourself. And there's tons of, I think the manager of Mr. Beast uses like a Notion website. Like he just uses a Notion doc. So it kind of depends on what you're doing. Phantom reviews, that's a great question, but kind of depends on what you need it for. All right, let's do this. So next up, what we're going to be doing is you're going to be actually seeing, we're going to now review Bravo versus Softer. And by the way, I forgot to say, yeah, thank you so much for everyone. I had to do this. Thank you so much for everyone. We just passed 6,000. We passed 6,000 like 2 days ago on the channel. So it's all of you that are sharing and telling other people about us. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. We're just trying to help as many people as possible. Eli says, Bubble database or Bubble plus external database like Xano using for marketplace website. Marketplace website. That's a good question. It depends how you're trying to structure your data. We just did a video about Xano the other day. I'd probably use Xano. The reason behind it is I like how their database is set up. And yeah, I would use Xano. That's a good point. Especially if I'm trying to, it depends on the marketplace style and, you know, all of those things. But Xano has the marketplace like template that you can be using too to set up the structure of your database. I'd probably just use Xano. Yeah, really good question. I would definitely use Xano. And yeah, I'm not even going to go there. Yeah, Xano.com. Yeah, I'd probably just use that. Yeah, great question. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Erica. Yeah. And thank you for being here. Yes, thank you for being here. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Xano I would use. Eli, let me know. But yeah. Also too, check out, there's a couple people that use Xano. Depends if you're on Twitter, if you're with a lot of people on no-code Twitter. But a lot of people like Xano for their projects. And if you talk to like Edmund and that crew, I know a lot of them use it. I'm not sure if Lee uses it with his bubble project with my launch stash. One last thing too, before I'm reviewing the other one. So if you're looking at like launch stash that we use when we're just like promoting our affiliate links and everything, this is all bubble too. So it depends on what you're trying to do, but like I have all my affiliate links. We use it. Where's my launch? And I think they just did mobile optimize on it. Here we go. Yeah, so just like we were talking about before, I'm like, sometimes I'm like talking about certain products or I need to do affiliate links. I can just drop it in the chat and then see, so I have all my affiliate links right there. And so it just keeps track of it. So I can stack all of my affiliate links. I can do all of that stuff. Yeah, so I can like, so you see like if I'm doing software, it drops it here. But if you're looking at my essential no-code tools on my launch stash, like again, that's what I'm doing. Hit him up though. I think that's Lee Launches or something like that. I always forget Lee's last name. I know that's not his real long. Yeah, but see, he says Lee Launches, right? So that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, hit him up on if you have any questions on Bubble or things like that. Steven Campbell is pretty active. Lee Launches and Edmund are building this. So yeah, they'll help you if you have questions on Bubble and things like that. Also, too, I think we're doing a review on Stackby in like the next week. New C proposals, love that too. Maybe I should start talking about those. Yeah, but yeah, Eli, if you have any questions, hit them up. They'll definitely help you. They'll definitely help you. Okay, cool. All right, let's switch over. And now we're going to look at Bravo Studios. Let's see. Taking all that stuff out. Okay, cool. So just so you know, like, how are we doing this? So behind the scenes, if you're looking at what's going on. So I'm using something. So if we're looking at the tech stack, what we're actually doing, I'm using StreamYard. And so StreamYard, as you can see, I'm streaming right now. So I'm streaming to a couple locations using StreamYard. Then I'm using Camtasia. Camtasia is where I can screen record and use a video editor and all those things. I have Camtasia running on the side, on my left-hand side right now. So I'm using two different monitors. And the reason I'm doing this is I can still do my live streaming show like I'm doing right now. But now, as I'm about to do this review, and I'll just break this down, I can now just record everything in Camtasia, and then I'm sending all of my other edits of videos to my producer who's just editing as we're live. Now, remember, if you're saying, well, Doc, I don't have an editor, you can still just send it to yourself in Google Drive or whatever to do it later. But now you don't have to get out of the mode of, I've got to live stream one day, then I've got to do these other videos. Just make it all part of the experience, right? So you can create a long form of piece of content like this, like the live stream. I'm chopping up where people are asking the questions. I can go back and use it as smaller videos, and I can make my review videos all at the same time. So think about if you're creating your own brand and you're trying to think about how you can create content so people can see your expertise, think about what you want to do to scale it like that. Okay. So right now, and if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, and someone asked, so what do I do when I'm chopping up smaller pieces? Then we use repurpose.io. So repurpose.io acts like Zapier for content creation. And then that just allows me to chop up and publish everywhere. So if I'm creating this, let me just log in so you can see it. So I have all my workflows. As I'm creating things, it's already going to make, you see right here? So my workflow. So like if I'm on Zoom, it makes it into YouTube. If I'm on YouTube Live, it's already making LinkedIn snippets right here. When I'm going live, it's also making audiograms for Twitter, and it's going to Google Drive to do that. My videos are also, my Facebook videos are also going to go to LinkedIn. My Zoom conversations become podcast files. You see, so I have all of these workflows of when I'm doing one thing, I'm doing like 10 other things too, all with automation. So if you're interested, repurpose.io, they're awesome. And yeah, so just showing you behind the scenes of what's happening. And if you want to try them out, Hanny's awesome. Where's my repurpose? Yep. I need help, Erica. If you find repurpose and just put it in the chat if people care about it, that would be awesome. Okay, cool. Camtasia's done. Let's change that up. We're going to close this. Okay. Let's do a review, and we're going to be talking about this. So we're going to do the review, Bravo Studio versus Softer. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the features, the pricing, and then purpose of why you should do this. I thought I had a repurpose.io affiliate link. Maybe I don't. Hold on 1 second. I gotta look for this. Let's see over here. Links. Favorite. I might be on the favorite tools. I've got to put it in. We got to put it in Launch Stash. That's the problem. There are too many affiliate links. Yeah. There we go. We'll have to put that in Launch Stash. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna do this, And then I'm going to actually show you in editing time, like how we actually break this down. So we're going to, first I do the intro, and then I break down the 3 things that we're going to talk about. And then that allows us to edit in real time. Also too, as you can see right here, I have a timer, and then I'm bringing up, actually, I'm going to be recording the screen. So on my Camtasia on the left-hand side, I click record. It's now going to bring up my screen. It's going to say, wait, we can't see your screen. What's happening? And then right here, it's in place now. It's recording both my camera and my screen as we're live streaming, right? So now we have that set up. I'm going to reset my camera because this one shuts off every half an hour. Okay, so I have that. I have everything set up. So now in my left-hand side, you can't see this, but off to the side, I've actually got one screen where it has my Camtasia and my live stream over here. It's recording both my cam link, which is my Canon, and it's recording my screen and my audio. I'm looking at preview right here. So I'm going to start recording, and now I'm going to have it, and you're going to be seeing it almost like there's going to be like an inception moment. So you're seeing me record as you're live streaming, and let's go through that. So Camtasia counts down when it's going to record. Now it's recording my screen as we're live streaming, and then we're going to go through this. So in this video, we're going to be comparing. I messed it up. Yep. In this video, we're going to be comparing Bravo Studio to Softer. In this video, we're going to be comparing Bravo Studio to Softer. In this video, you'll learn. In this video, you'll learn. Now, if you notice, I'm doing it multiple times, so that way, if for the editors, like I need one or the other, I'm just, instead of redoing the full video, I'm doing multiple intros so then they can cut to decide what they want. Now, the next part I'm going to do is like the 3 things we're going to compare. Number 1, the features. Number 1, the features. Number 1, the features. Number 2, the pricing. And number 3, the purpose. What is Bravo Studio? Bravo Studio is a platform where you can create prototypes and validate your ideas with ease. And you can be utilizing the power of Figma and Adobe XD. And you can be using the power of Figma and Adobe XD to do this. What is Softer? Softer is a platform where you can create PWAs. Softer is a platform where you can create progressive web apps, websites, and other things all within minutes with Airtable. Right, so then I just did the intro right there. And then the next part I'm going to be talking about is, okay, the features. So let's take a look at the features. So I'm already clearing out right here. Some of the features of Bravo is you can start connecting it with Airtable, Zapier, and Webflow, to name a few. Now, the way that you can connect it is you're going to be pulling different information APIs. So that just means 2 different systems talking to each other. But now you can start utilizing the power in the databases of things like Airtable to power your app. Also, to keep in mind, you can actually publish your app to the App Store as well. So you can do this to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store using Bravo Studio. If you're interested in different animations like Lottie's, GIFs, you can be using this in Bravo as well. And they have an extensive library to get started with Bravo, so you can learn how to do it. Let's see. That's what I'm going to do there. Second part, let's talk about Softer. Let's look at the use cases. With Softer, what I would look at is the different kind of use cases. There's so many things you can do with Softer. You can create internal tools, marketplaces, online communities. The list goes on and on. I would really focus on what you're trying to accomplish, because you can just go down a rabbit hole with Softer because there's so many different use cases. What I use Softer a lot of times when I'm trying to validate a marketplace, and before I scale using things like Sharetribe and others, in just a few minutes, I can create marketplaces to test out ideas like Airbnb, Upwork, and similar services. I can do that in minutes with Softer. Also to note, because it uses Airtable, as you log in and go through Softer, in just a few clicks, it syncs with your Airtable account, and you can get started using their database. So we've gone through features. Now we're going to look at pricing. Let's take a look at pricing. Pricing right here. And we're going to go pricing right here. Okay, pricing and pricing. All right, so for pricing, Bravo starts for free, but there's something to note. It allows you to start for free, but it only allows you to share 3 per app. Now, this allows you to validate your idea, really build out that MVP, that minimal viable product, before you start scaling. If you're going to be going for unlimited sharing, unlimited projects, unlimited builds, then that's going to be 19 euros a month. But I like the free plan because this allows you to move with purpose. If it can't validate and you're not getting paying customers, I just wouldn't pay for the other paid plans personally, because that allows me to move with purpose, validate, still use a lot of the features from Bravo, but then expand when I have a product market fit. If we're looking at for Softer, it starts with $0. You can use unlimited applications starting for free. You can have one collaborator and you can have one custom domain. That's really interesting because a lot of times most platforms will, if you want a custom domain, you have to pay for it. They're really allowing you to start your brand off in Softer for free and then scale from there. Also, it allows you to test out a paywall for payments, the migration with Airtable, up to 200 records. So it allows you to start getting some data, start getting users, and then from there, you can transition into the starter or professional plans. With that, that allows you to have more access. It allows you to have increased access to data or a database. For example, for Airtable, it goes to 1,000 records if you're doing the starter for 24, and for professional, it goes to 10,000 records. Also, too, with professional, you can have user roles. So if you're trying to create a robust community where you're having admin roles, editors, all those things, you can change those types of roles with the professional plan. It also comes with the starter and for professional. If I'm trying to do custom code with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I can start using that with the starter and professional plan of Softer. Now, the next part that we're looking at is we're going to be looking at Bravo. We're going to look at purpose. Okay. So we're looking at purpose with it. Bravo. Bravo Studio. Okay. So you have this. You have Softer right here. Okay, we have Softer and Bravo. Okay. So if I'm looking at this, next we're going to be looking at purpose. When we're looking at Bravo and Softer, what I would really focus on is what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do with your app? Are you trying to create an MVP, or are you trying to have more creative control over your platform, such as Bravo? Bravo, I would say, if you're a graphic designer, you want to have very specific animations. You want to have full control of your MVP and your prototype for your app. I would go with something like Bravo. But Softer, on the other hand, if you're trying to move quickly, you don't have a lot of experience with API calls, those things confuse you, or you're like, I just want to test if this is a great idea and I need a great looking site. Softer is going to be something for you in that direction. So it depends on your purpose in what you're trying to do that will allow you to decide which platform would be best for you. Which platform would I choose? Which platform would I choose? This really comes down to your intention. What are you trying to do? If you're trying to make sure that you're having a app where you can now have a prototype and then scale, if you're trying to do VC funding like venture capital, or you're even trying to bootstrap, but you're trying to validate and you have a very specific look and feel and you want it to be stylized for your brand, I would go with Bravo. If I'm trying to move quickly, I want to have the power of Airtable. I want to create different things like marketplaces and other things. I would go with Softer. So in the chat down below, let me know what you're trying to create. So if you're looking at that, that's the structure of what's happening, right? So I'm looking at different portions of, as I'm recording this, of how I'm structuring it. One last thing I would say at the end that we're going to add to the beginning, and at the end, I'm going to tell you which one I would choose. And at the end, I'm going to show you which one I would choose. So if you notice that I did the outline, I forgot that part. So I added that back in. And then I stopped the recording on that. And then on the back end in Camtasia, that shows that breakdown was like 8 minutes, 20 seconds. It's all structured right there. And then we just created another review video at the same time. Let me know if that makes sense. Okay, cool. Saving this. Okay, so back to what we were doing. Let's go back to AppSumo or anything you would like as we're finishing up. And first of all, everyone that's staying, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about your own project or anything like that, put it in the chat. Let me know what you're working on. Look at what we're trying to do. This week, I think we're going to also experiment with Clutch more. We did one video on Clutch. We're going to do more videos on Flutter Flow and Clutch. It's a higher learning curve, so it's taking me longer to get better at it. But I think we're going to do something more with Clutch. Let me know. And we just had a video that came out about Clutch yesterday, actually. So Clutch is very interesting. It's I would say it almost reminds me of a structured version of Builder. Still working on some things to get better at it. I've got to watch their webinars. Their webinars are pretty interesting, and they use Xano and a couple other things. To create a social media app. I saw that. I got to go step by step on it. So it's taking me a little bit longer. For Flutter Flow, the only thing is I've got to do a lot more work because then I've got to add Firebase to it. I would say this is more closer to like the low code side. Yeah. But we're gonna try it out. Oh, more on Clutch? Yeah, okay, cool. So I think I'm gonna join their Slack group and I'm gonna start working on Milan? I don't know. Hopefully, I'm saying it correctly. Let me know if you're interested in that or what you're trying to build in Clutch. But yeah, I think I'm liking the potential of Clutch. I'm liking the potential. I got to start working on like the workflow and how I'd use it, but it's got some staying power. It's got some staying power. It's very interesting. I did not know it was 4 years old that they've been working on it, and then they launched it in beta pretty recently. But the customization, again, it's harder, or it's going to take a lot more advancement than if something like a Softer or Bravo. But I think the things that you can be doing with this, it's pretty top notch. So I'm interested to see what we can build with that. Again, Flutter, I might do a comparison of Clutch and Flutter. It's okay. I think both of these I've just got to spend more time in them. We might do a comparison to the two of them, but Clutch, we're gonna really spend some time, I think. Yeah, really good, really good. Also, too, any other questions? Oh, I have something for you, Erica. You had questions on. No, I had some other questions too. Let me answer. You had some action, build it, community. Okay, so I got to answer some questions on that. So, you already asked best deals of Sumo. We did that. Did you have a link for Camtasia? Not yet. I've got to get a link for Camtasia. That's a good point. And remember, Camtasia used to be on AppSumo back in the day too. Trying to find the right place for a children's active story movement app. Active story movement app. So is it more of a game for kids? How are they going to what are the kids learning, or is it more like a game? Or if you have an example of like something that kids are using right now, I'd love to see it. Good question. Yeah, good question. Active. The thing that comes to mind, And do you want to do it in Clutch, or are you picking a platform? Does it have to be in Clutch, or let me know? But it's a children's active story movement app. Interesting. Tell me more. Tell me more. Listen, move as base with a pet. Interesting. Try to pick. Listen, move as. Okay. So when I'm hearing listen or something with that, there's something I would consider. That's interesting. Okay. So when I'm thinking about games, okay, this is what I do. Okay, so if I'm thinking about that, I would probably have you write out, put it in the chat or email me. It depends on the exact movements or like what you want to happen with the kids. But if I'm hearing like something of sound, what would we do? I would probably, if I'm doing instructions, if I'm doing something like instructions, I'd probably do something. If it's voice, I'd probably use something like True Reply. I'd use something like True Reply. And that's because you can actually have them interact with something, and it would be something like Alexa or Google Assist. And so then you could actually have them like experience a story or do something like that. And so I would use something like True Reply. Um, if it's games, if it's game related and you're trying to do something in no code, I just don't see anything better for no code than BuildBox, because BuildBox is built to create 2D and 3D games without coding. So it allows you to build games. So when I'm hearing you talk about like kids and what they're doing, there's no other platform. Like Bubble can do some things, but like if I'm trying to like build a game without coding, a mobile game or anything for kids, I'm going with BuildBox. Like no, like not even. I don't even need to think about it. It depends on the mechanics too. So if they're gonna have levels and all this stuff, but if I'm doing anything like building, I'd probably use BuildBox. If I'm trying to do something by sound, or they're going to be listening and doing commands, I'd probably use True Reply. Just because it allows me to, it's the easiest to build voice experiences. I think they have a startup plan. Yeah, they have a startup plan of 63 a month, 1,000 engagements. Yeah, launch Amazon Alexa, launch apps. I mean, yeah. Not only that, we like this one too, especially if we work with a lot of therapists that needed to have like HIPAA compliance. They already have all of those things too built in. Depends on how you're working with kids, but if you're looking for security and like all of these things, I would do something like that. Yeah. Let me know what you think. Does this help? Let me know if this helps, or gives you an idea. Again, Clutch could still work, but if you're trying to do something with kids or games or something, truly interesting. Yeah, True Reply. Yeah, I love that because a lot of times people don't think about voice experiences, but I mean, we have past episodes. We built out voice experiences within like a couple of hours. Like once we understood it, we got it down in 30 minutes. But you can build a full voice experience. We did a full challenge in a weekend. How to do it? We had James Burgess that won. He was a speech pathologist, and he was teaching kids how to work on their stutter. So he built out a full app with True Reply. And so, yeah, I think we have a whole playlist. If you go to our channel and look for True Reply or do something there, I think there's like 5 or 7 videos of building out voice. Yeah, I think that would be great. That would be great. There's a couple other competitors, but if you're going for like, you want easeability, you want to scale this, there's not going to be anything better than True Reply on the market. Yeah, great idea. Good times. All right, everybody. Can you believe it? We've been here for almost 2 hours. Yeah. Thank you so much for everyone being here, asking great questions. And again, Milan, Milan, great job. Can't wait to see what you can create. Let me know if you have any questions. In the link down below, let me know what's going on. There's a comment section. Let me know what you're working on, what you need help with. And we'll be back again. No problem. No problem. We'll be back again tomorrow. There's more videos coming your way tomorrow. Remember, if you have any questions, ask, join the Discord group where people are going to be there, all those things. Thank you so much, Erica. You just dropped the link for a true reply from Milan. Check that out. There's all of those different things. If you have any questions, we're here every single Wednesday live answering your questions for free on YouTube. If you want anything else, make sure join the free Discord group. If you want to be part of the Build It membership, there's a link down below as well. You can join that. Erica's in the group. There's some great people there. Also, too, for the Build It community, there's another video dropping later today answering your questions from the community. And I will see all of you next week. And we might have some pop-up videos here and there. But again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and have a wonderful night.